Tea will lose 90% of your friends when you finally decide to stop being their doormat. And my dear, let me tell you, that is the greatest blessing you will ever receive in this lifetime. Take a seat right here next to me. Let me look at you for a moment. Your eyes look so very tired, my sweet child. I can see the exhaustion settling deep into your shoulders. You have been giving so much of yourself to people who only know how to take, haven't you? I know that heavy sigh. I know that silent ache in your chest. You are sitting there wondering why the people you call your friends seem so distant the moment you need them, yet they're always knocking on your door when they need something from you. At my age, sitting here with over 8 decades of memories watching the world spin, you realize that time and energy are the most precious currencies we have. And I have watched far too many beautiful, generous souls absolutely bankrupt themselves trying to buy the loyalty and love of people who never truly valued them to begin with. We use the word friend so very loosely these days, don't we? We attach it to acquaintances, to colleagues, to people we simply share a history with, and to those who are merely accustomed to our convenience. But a true friend? That is a rare gem. Today, I want to talk to you about the hard, uncomfortable truth regarding the company you keep, because I see you carrying a heavy, toxic burden that you were never, ever meant to hold. Let me tell you a story about a time when my hair was still dark and my heart was just as eager to please as yours is right now. I was in my late 20s, raising my first child, and I had a friend named Clara. Clara was the center of our little social circle. She was vibrant, loud, captivating, and always seemed to have a crisis that only I could solve. If Clara needed a babysitter at the last minute because she wanted to go into town, I dropped everything. If she needed someone to bake 3 dozen pies for her church bake sale because she forgot until the night before, I stayed up until 2 in the morning in a kitchen covered in flour, scrubbing pans with blistered hands. I believed, with all my naive, trusting heart, that this was what friendship meant. Being there, showing up, burning yourself out to keep someone else warm. I thought my sacrifices were building a fortress of loyalty between us. But then came the bitter winter of 1968. My husband lost his job at the mill unexpectedly, and my little boy fell terribly ill with a fever that simply would not break. I was terrified, financially strained, exhausted to my bones, and completely isolated. I reached out to Clara, my supposed best friend, just asking if she could bring over some soup or perhaps sit with my boy so I could rest my eyes for just 1 single hour. Do you know what she said to me? She sighed, complained about how hectic her schedule was, and told me she was simply too busy planning a holiday party, but she would pray for me. I remember sitting on the edge of my son's bed, listening to the cold draft rattling the window panes, feeling a profound, agonizing loneliness wash over me. The realization hit me like a physical blow to the stomach. I was pouring my life's water into a cracked jug. Clara wasn't my friend. I was her convenience. When the party was over and my son had finally recovered, no thanks to her, she came knocking on my door again, asking for a favor as if nothing had happened. She expected the old me to just smile and oblige. But for the first time in my life, I looked at her, smiled softly, and said no. I closed the door. The silence that followed in my hallway was terrifying at first, but then it slowly became the most peaceful sound I had ever heard. I lost Clara that day and several others in our group who thought I was changing or becoming difficult because I stopped serving them. But do you know what I found? I found my dignity. I found my self-respect. And my dear, dignity is a companion that will never, ever abandon you in the cold. Listen to me carefully, my precious dear. A true friend does not love you for what you can do for them. They love you for who you are when your hands are completely empty. You have to understand that people are often in our lives for a season or a reason, but very few are meant to be there for a lifetime. When you finally start setting boundaries, the people who benefited from you having none will call you selfish. They will try to make you feel guilty. Let them. Their disappointment is not your responsibility. You see, the hard truth about friends is that many of them are just emotional parasites disguised as companions. They feed off your bright light, your endless energy, your resources, your listening ear, and the very moment you ask for a single drop of water in return, they suddenly have a drought. You must stop breaking your own back to build sturdy bridges for people who wouldn't even throw you a rope if you were drowning right in front of them. Friendship is not a ledger where you keep score, but it is a scale. And if that scale is constantly tipped, if you are always the one initiating the plans, always the one listening to their problems, always the one compromising your comfort for theirs, you are not in a friendship. You are in a state of emotional servitude. There are people in your life right now who only check on you to see if you are still useful to them. It hurts to hear, I know, but accepting this truth is the key to your freedom. You must learn to be entirely comfortable with walking alone rather than walking with a crowd that is blindly going in the wrong direction. The beautiful, quiet space you create by walking away from toxic, one-sided friendships is the exact space needed for the right, authentic people to finally enter your life. Take a deep breath with me right now. Think about the people in your phone contacts at this very moment. Who among them would stand in the pouring rain with you? Not just hold the umbrella, mind you, but stand in the rain with you when the umbrella breaks and the storm is raging? We hold on to people tightly because we are so deeply afraid of loneliness. Society tells us we need a large group of friends to be valued. But I promise you, looking back from 82 years of life, the worst loneliness in the entire world is not being physically alone in a quiet room. The most agonizing loneliness is being in a room full of friends and feeling completely unseen, unheard, and unvalued. You are a masterpiece, my child. Your heart is a sacred sanctuary, not a revolving door for people who refuse to wipe their muddy feet before they walk in. I want you to forgive yourself for all the times you begged for the bare minimum from people who should have freely given you their best. You didn't know any better then. You just wanted to be loved. But now you do know better. It takes immense, warrior-like courage to look at a relationship, acknowledge the years of history you share, and still have the bravery to say, "This is no longer healthy for my spirit." You do not owe anyone your peace of mind. Let them go with love, but firmly let them go. You will grieve, yes. Mourning a friendship is sometimes much harder than mourning a romantic relationship because we never expect our friends to break our hearts. But on the other side of that grief, on the other side of that temporary quietness, is a profound, unshakable peace that no one can ever take away from you. My sweet child, life is simply too short and too incredibly precious to spend it trying to prove your worth to people who are committed to misunderstanding you. Choose quality over quantity every single time. Keep your circle small, but let it be a circle of solid iron. Surround yourself with people who protect your name fiercely when you are not even in the room. People who celebrate your victories without a single hint of jealousy darkening their eyes. People who call you just to hear your voice, not to ask for a favor. You deserve that level of love. Never, ever settle for less just to avoid sitting alone. I am so incredibly proud of the strength you are finding within yourself today. You just keep walking tall, keep that chin up, keep your beautiful heart open, but guarded with the wisdom you have earned. I love you so much, and I am always right here for you, sitting in this chair, ready to listen. If these words brought your weary heart some comfort today, please leave a comment down below and let me know that you are finally choosing your peace. Share this message with someone who might be struggling and needs to hear it, and please, subscribe to stay here with me. We have so many more deep conversations to share together. Take wonderful care of your beautiful heart, my dear.